G'day, mate, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Jimmy. We've been working through our little mini-series of mastering Gleba, and we've been doing a wonderful job so far. We've really taken Gleba and really industrialized it, turning it from what it was, being a moderate-sized base that did a decent amount of stuff. If we just look at science, for example, here, we were doing about 94 per second, being about 5,000 per minute. But 5,000 per minute was not nearly enough when all the other bases outstripped this by now. We do have our river here because it keeps flowing, and then once it flows to the end of the river, it goes over the waterfall and turns into a whole lot of power, which we replaced with, a fusion plant. Where the hell's the fusion plant? Here somewhere. Oh, it's the giant block right there. Yeah, our 9 gigawatt, power problem solver that sits right here and just make sure that we don't have to worry about power here on Gleba ever again. We have gone through and we have automated a whole bunch of things. We've automated rocket fuel with 240 per second. We've also done plastic with 240 per second. Actually thinking that maybe I need to double that because a lot of that plastic is still getting shipped to Fagola to keep it under track. We are also doing carbon fiber. Again, 240 per second. It's technically a little bit less now because the last one doesn't have quite as many beacons, because I'm also making sure that I don't really want to ship mold around the world via bots. I really want it to process it on site. Speaking of that, you should really be processed on site too. Can I remove... I can remove that chest, I can put it underground, I can bring it around the back. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, just for completionist's sake. Yep, you can come to here and you can get instead of there. Done. All right, just a little bit more mold processed on site. We've also got our iron and copper here that will auto boot up, and we need more iron and copper. Apart from that, it's just going to sit there very, very idle and, do what it has to. We're also producing, of course, LDS, our blue circuits, our red circuits, our explosives, our rockets, our many, many rockets to keep the wildlife at bay because the pollution cloud's got a little bit out of control, as have the friends. I haven't caught a live friend yet charging for the wall. I've only caught dead friends. Yeah, I've only caught the aftermath, and so far they're not breaking things, they're just running into it and causing some repair packs to be spent. But today, what I want to do is I want to make science. Now, previously, like I said, our old build did about 5,000 per minute, which was about 90 per second. As for all the other planets, they're already doing a fully compressed belt every second, which is around about 240. Actually, can I just have one of you with the correct recipe with no prob mods? You would do 112 per second, which is an awful lot. But I want you to do... The other ones are doing 700. 300 and... the other ones are doing 240 at least. I want you to do 480 of them. 450, 400 and... Yeah, 450, 480 per second. But obviously I want to have productivity modules in there, which is going to slow it right the way down. So that still means I need a good amount of machines. And frankly, I want to go much higher in this. I really want to have a build that's going to be tileable, that we can expand when we need to expand. Also, I have another constraint, along with trying to deal with mold on site, and that is I do not want it to take up more room than the height of 2 rocket silos. We'll get to that in the future. But that's going to be today's plan. So before I follow through with today's plan, before I start knocking out science, I do need to ask a very important question. And of course, the very important question is, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I just like to borrow a like. The video. You're not happy with the video, you didn't enjoy the video, then by all means, you can have your like back. We should also very quickly check in on our common man, who's parked out the Shattered Planet. This is a mod. This is a picture of the Shattered Planet from the star map, all the way out here, and just made a little bit bigger. And as you can see, our ship's out here. It's parked at the Shattered Planet, sitting here doing nothing. There's a common man, our very, very common ship, made of nothing but normal quality. He's just sitting back relaxing. So, first thing we need to do, to make science, I need bioflux, I need eggs. So I need to make bioflux, which requires Yakimo and jelly. I also need eggs, which require nutrients and eggs, and nutrients and eggs. And I also need bioflux to make nutrients. This is what I need to build. So we're going to start at the start. We're going to work our way along with a couple of different things I need to do. First off, I need to have just nutrients. I just need to make nutrients so I can keep pentapod eggs alive. And the good news is, well, we have builds to do that. In fact, there is... one of you guys, this one outputs per second an awful lot of nutrients, which is exactly what I want, because I'm going to need to feed an awful lot of baby eggs. That's maybe a little bit extreme. Is that a little bit better? It's slightly less extreme, but gets through the point. So I think we're going to go for this build. Can I copy this? Yes. They also produce bioflux, which sort of ticks off the next point. So yeah, sure. Let's grab that. Can I put you... well, hang on. I'm going to keep below the height of 2 rocket silos. So let's go with... Yeah. This is step number 1, player number 1. Okay. So this just needs to have my 2 different fruits come in. The good news is we've done that enough times by now that I can just come here, copy, paste this, scroll down to where this is, and paste this. Well, I remove those belts because they're really annoying if I don't remove them in advance. And then paste this right here and plug in said belt. Okay, with that plugged in, you are going to request in nutrients so you can kickstart yourself. You're going to dump some nutrients on the belt and some nutrients in the bioflux machine. And then once we've dumped enough nutrients on the belt, your bonus down here. Yeah, that should be fine. Can I rearrange this just slightly? Can I put you 2 here? Can I grab one of you? Can I put you here? Can I put you underground, just there to there? And then can I put you 2 friends back? Oh, you're outputting and inputting. Ew. Do you output enough nutrients like this? You output more bioflux. I don't really need the bioflux. I really need the nutrients. Okay, I copied the wrong one. I want to copy this guy then. Yeah, I'm going to copy this guy. Because nutrients is what really matters. I copy that. Cool. As long as I line up the bottom, everything should be fine. So can I... press all the wrong buttons. Can I delete this and start again? Alright, let's pretend none of that happened. Can I put you... Well, here will do. And I don't think that's part of the build. I definitely know that's not part of the build. And... that should be everything I need. So you're going to bring nutrients down here, through here to feed these guys. The other one brought the nutrients through the middle, which would work just as well for me. Can I... Okay, so you're the feed in inserter. Can I have you go here? In the other build, how do you get nutrients? You just get nutrients with direct insertion. Okay, can I do... No, I can't do because you've been slid down. Okay, I don't need you slid down. So can I do... Yes, we're just going to make some on-the-spot modifications. So I need you to go there. I need... Hang on. Undo. So this is the Kickstarter. Okay, I need to take the Kickstarter and move the Kickstarter over there for just a second. Because all these builds are automatically Kickstart if they ever go down. Okay, can I move all of this up a tile? Or to be more exact, this part down a tile. Okay, I don't need you putting out nutrients there. I do need you to put nutrients here and feed into this guy. I do need you to output mold down there. That means you're going to go this way. Can I have my power pole back, please? Can you go right here? And that goes away, that goes away. I don't think I need you either. And I do need to get mold out of this. And I need you to also input. So this is the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter goes here. I need you to input nutrients into the machine, which we're doing right here. I'm outputting... no, I'm outputting just to the right, nowhere else. You're going to send the mold down here, which gets rid of the mold. I don't need... Okay, I need this inserter to go here, and this inserter to go here, and then we can run an underground through there to feed both those. We don't need this. You're putting mold down there, which works, I guess. And you're grabbing mold from there, you're grabbing mold from there. Can I move you to here and you output there? Can I move you to here as well? I get seeds out. Oh, okay. Can I aim you up? Yep. I can send the mold down there. We're going to get mold off the end of this belt, which can go somewhere. I'm not sure where somewhere is just at the moment, but it will definitely have to go somewhere. Okay, can I put that there? Can I put that there? Can I put that there? Yes? No? Maybe? Mold, 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 mold. Okay, and mold. There we go. All the moles dealt with on site from the end of every belt. Perfect. You're going to load both sides of the belt. This technically doesn't need to exist. This doesn't need to exist. And sure, power can move right there. Okay, so this is step number 1. You have bioflux. You obviously have bioflux to kickstart you. And you are reading, and it's asking, do I have less than 6 bioflux? I need to have, obviously, more than 6 to have this recipe run. So if I have less than 6 bioflux, this chest kicks on. It'll request in both nutrients and bioflux at the same time if there is anything in here spoiled, because the chest turns on, the bots will come along and pick it up and get rid of it. And which builder was it that I copied? You. Oh, it's here. No, it's not that build. It's the one that does lots of nutrients. What's here? Yeah, I just missed it in the copy paste. Okay, that's fine. All right, so step number 1, I have nutrients. Okay, nutrients are going to be very, very important because I need to make I need to make more nutrients. No, actually, nutrients is step number 1. Okay, step number 2 is I need to make eggs. And I need to have 2 egg machines. The first one is going to be our egg warmer. It's just going to be something that keeps the eggs alive. And we already have one of these. It's up here at Science. And it's pretty simple. Can I copy you as is and paste you right here? Okay, so don't connect to the network. Okay, our egg warmer. Don't do that anymore. Cool. Our egg warmer is going to output an egg. That obviously comes to this chest. And then, after it's output an egg, it then gets moved to this chest. After it's moved to this chest, which is set to if there are no eggs in this chest, so only if there are no eggs in this chest does it get to move to here. And then, if there's less than 4 eggs, it goes in here. And I'm pretty sure you already have eggs in because you kick in automatically and make sure I have 2 eggs in here at all times. So the idea of this one is it can kickstart itself from the network and it should just keep an egg warm. I don't need a lot of production here. I do need the most spoiled egg to get moved from here to here, and then the most spoiled egg to get put back in there. That way it keeps itself running. Okay, you just need nutrients. You need 4 nutrients to make 0.33 eggs per second. That's fine. That's all I need. Can I get a offshore pump right here and a little bitty pipe, and you can go there. And spoilage, I guess, goes here. And then I guess I just move the whole thing down a tile so you line up. And then all I need to do is give you some nutrients. So I want you to go with, how much nutrients do you need? 3 per second. Very, very big numbers we're working with here. Okay, can I get you to come to actually probably like this? Probably. What's my other option? I can slide it down a tile and have the trash come out here. It's like 2 tiles. 2 tiles starts the same level, or up 2 tiles. Cool. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I have you do our trash out? And our trash out goes down. Plus, I need to get rid of any trash that happens to be on this belt. Cool. Alright. So you just keep eggs warm. That's your only job in life. You just need to keep eggs warm. You don't need to do anything more than that. Okay. Can I cut this to this, because I don't need it, and just slide the whole thing over. Will my pump still work? Yes. Can I put that there? Will I still have enough power? No. Ooh, can I move you to here instead? Beautiful. All right, so egg warmer done. I don't need that mold belt, and I don't need that mold belt. Cool. Our next one's going to actually make eggs. It's going to make eggs in vast quantities, because I'm going to need eggs in vast quantities. The idea of this one is it's going to be Kickstarter. It's going to be actually be able to boot up our science. So we have a master switch, so to speak, that I can use to turn the whole thing off and, also turn the whole thing on. So you need 220 nutrients per second to have 7 eggs come in and 25 eggs come out. That means you have a positive rate of 18 eggs per second. Also means you need 220 nutrients, which is like a fully stacked belt's worth. Hence, you're making, in theory, you're making 100. I might need you to make a little bit more. Okay, that quickly scaled out of control. 100 per second. 1,600 per second. And that needs 83 bioflux. You're making 3 bioflux. What happens if I put my beacon here? You're making 55 bioflux. We need 83 for 1.6. 1.6 is a bit much. You need 60 jelly. You probably don't do 60 jelly. No. So can I put another beacon? Yeah. Can't affect this machine because I don't want him to run faster, so I guess I put you here, and actually it means I don't need that one. So 50, you're going to do 116, I need 83, you're going to do 300. I only need 66, and you still do, oh, you still do 99. Okay, we get another beacon over there. You now do 1.6k. Cool. That should be our setup, except I forgot mold somewhere along the line. Can I get a mold inserter? Oh, actually, can I put you here? Can I move you to there and remove that? And can I put my mold inserter here and just run the belt that way? Problem solved. Okay. Right, so you need a whole lot of nutrients. Good. So we're going to get you a whole lot of nutrients. We also need to get water into this machine. And then we also need to deal with the eggs out. The eggs out is a whole different problem that we'll have to worry about in just a second. Can I put you... actually, no, probably there. Where are my rocket silos? Okay, turns out you're going up. Alright, can I put you here? Alright, so, nutrients. Nutrients we're just going to drag straight through. Can I really hope to reach that in one bound? No. Okay, can we go left a little bit? Cool. We can now reach that in one bound, and more importantly, my beacons don't affect this guy. Cool. Can I bring the belt through to here? Now, you need to have, obviously, a whole lot of inserters of the legendary type to put a whole lot of nutrients in there. You also need to have water. So can I get you a pipe? No, that pipe's not going to work. That pipe will have to work. Can I bring this to here, and then can I just get you a brand new pump? And we should be good to go. Alright, next thing you need to have is you need to have eggs. Can I put filters on this guy and all of these guys? Also, I need to deal with spoilage. Good old spoilage. Can I put you here and eggs on the right? Yeah, eggs on the right sounds about right. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay. Can I put that there? Alright, so, you need to get rid of spoilage, which we've now done. You also need to get eggs in and process eggs around. So, what I need to do is try and work out a good way to get this done. I need to get spoilage from the end of this belt. The belt's about to continue on further. So, I want you to bring in eggs, process the eggs around on a belt. It's probably going to be the best way of doing it. Yeah, we're going to do it on a belt. Can I have... egg out, egg in. Okay. Can I filter you to eggy? Perfect. And I also need somewhere to kickstart this to make sure it goes if it runs out of eggs. So can I get a request chest? We're going to put a request chest there, and there, and then we're going to wire that to this machine. We're going to have you rig contents, including crafting. I don't care about your fuel count. And we're going to be enable if the number of eggs in the machine equals 0. So if you never have eggs in you, then we'll request in some eggs. How many eggs are we going to request? From buffer chests included, we're going to request in all of about 2. I just need something to kickstart the system. And you've got a request, and well, there's 4 on the way. So I guess that's enough to kickstart us. All right. Then I want to bring the eggs out, but I want this belt to be read. So we're going to enable this. We're going to read, and we're going to hold the contents. And I want that belt or that belt. Oh no, it should be this belt. All right, and then we're going to enable you only if other way around. Other way around. Yeah, I want to these two. So this one we're going to read, and this one we're only going to enable if currently it says there's 4 eggs on there. So if eggs are greater than 1. Yeah, if there's, and then I'm going to put you here. So the idea is you're going to output eggs, stacked eggs. Yep, I know, it's dangerous, but this should be fine. We're going to output stacked eggs. You're going to accept eggs in, and then if there's eggs in this tile, the next tile will let the belt run, and that should mean that if I drag you down here, and just put one of these here just to make sure, and I do this, we should just be able to burn off eggs, and this should just keep looping forever. It's going to have a nutrient issue. I need to get rid of stuff like this belt. Can I move this upper tile? I should be able to move this upper tile. So I can then do that. Alright, temporarily, just because I am not going to drag the nutrients through just yet, Can I do you, and can I do a active butter? Yep, that'll do me for right this second, just so we can see that this actually works. So you're outputting eggs, and the eggs only slide through if I need another one of these, because you're overheating. How many eggs can you burn per minute? 8 per second, and I'm making 18. Positive 18, that is. Cool. We're going to have 2 of those. All right, so this should be able to burn the eggs faster than make the eggs. That's step number 1. Number 2 is this should always have enough eggs in it to keep looping. Okay, we shouldn't ever fire this request. I really don't want it to fire this request. And the idea is you're going to output the eggs, and then if there are eggs on this belt only, and there's more than 4 eggs, then we'll let the belt continue. So if I remove the inserter, yeah, the belt stops moving, and then therefore these eggs can't get out. Okay, so maybe you need to actually be there. Can I remove this? Yep, that works. Okay, can I put you back? Can I put you a stack? Cool. Alright, so this function now works. Alright, next thing I need is science. I'm going to want to have an awful lot of science, which needs an awful lot of bioflux. If I, just for argument's sake, do... sure, there. And can I upgrade you to legendary W right there? You need 22 bioflux for running one of these, and I want to potentially run an awful lot of these. You would then make 50 science, and I want to have, well, we said 700 science. So I'd really like to make all the bioflux at once for 700 science, which means I need to have 290 bioflux, which is an awful lot of bioflux. I know. So next step is probably get the bioflux organized. Can I put you to there? The good news is we've sort of done this already with these sorts of builds where we did need to output an awful lot of bioflux. You were outputting 55. That's not an awful lot, but it's something. You're outputting 141. We're getting close. And you're outputting nothing. Okay, so we know we need something similar to this. Actually, how much did you need? You need 169 jelly, and you don't output 169 jelly. You do technically, but you can't. The inserter can't move fast enough to get that much jelly from there to there. So this is going to be one of our first problems we need to overcome, and that is having an extreme amount of jelly and mash into this machine. So can I start with how much speed can we get around this machine? So can I go there? Can I move this for the 83rd time? Oh, can I go there, there, and there? So with maximum speed, you can produce 150. 150 is a very, very good number, except I need 225 of the mash and 180 jelly. These guys move 120 per second from memory, so that's not going to quite work for us. So I need to look at a potential different answer to get a whole lot of stuff into this, being that you need potentially 3 inserters, but 2 is a definitely good start, but you also need 2. So if you guys both need 2 inserters each, can I put this here? And then can I put this here? I'm going to lose a beacon, and we'll hopefully be able to fix that in just a second. You have 2 inserters like this. No, redo please. And go here. But I also need to get nutrients from this guy. Can I have some? You're filtered. Can I have nutrients? Can I have spoilage? Can I also have bioflux out? Bioflux out is probably going to be in the top. Can I set you to be bioflux only? Thank you very much. Okay. So I need to get nutrients in here. Oh, and I need to get spoilage out. Yeah. So that doesn't give me a lot of room around this machine. So we need to possibly rearrange things just a little bit further. Can I put you here? No, here. Cool. And then we can do this. All right, so you're going to make 130 now. It's a little bit slower, but that's probably okay so far. And you guys are going to do, what, 300 and 166, and you need 190 to do 150, which is still a little bit short of our goal. Sorry, I probably don't actually need to make it go any faster. All right, can I move you to there? And can I mold? If I put mold there, that gives me even less inputs and outputs, but it means that at least the top of the build's a little bit tighter. Is it too tight? Probably. Can I put you there? I can put you there. That's a little bit better. All right. So 166, we're good. 332, we're good. You need 150. So can I start with you? Can I put you here? Can I do this? No? This. Cool. You at 240, which is still way too much, but only need, what's that? 1.13 megawatts now, compared to this guy needing 3.5 megawatts. So we're going to save a little bit of power. Can I put you here? You're down to, well, 100. You still do 200 jelly per second. I only need 150. You, on the other hand, do 166, and I need, if I get 120 out, 120 out would be nice. Will the inserters do that much? Possibly, if you go faster. Can I make you go faster? Can I put you here? You're going to do 230. That was good. What was that? That was steel productivity 25 ton. And that's artillery range, which is going very quickly. Cool. Can I get a few more of those? That was 2 million. That's 4 million. That's 8 million. Can I just slide them in there? Yeah, that's a little bit expensive. It should be fine. All right. So you're doing 230, which is great. Can I cut down your power usage as well? 190. That's still good enough. But your power's 3 or 2.3 megawatts. I'll put another one, and we're down a much more reasonable power, but you're down the same speed you were previously. So then I need another one of these. Or actually, what happens if I did this and I changed that out like that? The 131, you are not changed, but we're at 5.81 megawatts. We're at 6.39 megawatts. So I've cut down the power usage by spending a legendary beacon and also a speed and then an efficiency to bring down the power usage and the speed to add the speed loss back by adding a beacon. Okay. You're doing 184. We need 190. 184 is probably going to be enough for us. You're doing 250 still, which is still way overkill. Can I throw another one of those there? What? Okay, barely changed. Well, never mind, you're at the minus 80% limit. Okay, so I would need to get nutrients in here, or something along those lines. I need to get spoilage out of you, and you two also deal with seeds. Can I get one of these? Okay, put seeds there and seeds there with a active there and active there. Cool. That's our baseline plan. Can I rearrange these? Okay, you two get to go to here. And then we get to work out some of the problems. So, oh, and you need to have your actual materials in. Ugh. Yeah, you're going to need jelly and you're going to need yummy. Okay, there's a few problems for us to sort out. So, can I put you here? Can I put you here? That sort of gives us a straight line. Straight lines are helpful, but they're more helpful when I have a little bit more space. Can you also move up top? Yes. Okay, so I have a straight line for the nutrients, but you can't get to the nutrients if I have a straight line. But I can now put you here, and I can put you here, which is definitely an improvement. I need to get rid of spoilage, and I prefer it if that happened on a belt, and I need to get rid of seeds. So, actually, no, can I put you there? Can I do the seeds? They go straight to our active divider. Can I do spoilage up there? Also need to do spoilage off the end of this belt. I'm going to have the belt terminate right here. You can do the same. You can do that. Plus you can do spoilage off the end here. Okay, so if I have bioflux coming out, okay, that's bioflux coming out. Nice, simple. I have spoilage going through here. Yeah, over there. You're going to output on the far side of the belt, which then goes into this underground. Can I request in spoilage? Because I want to double check these things as we go. Cool. Can I put that? Oh, I already have on the whole bar. Cool. You could go straight into here. That is, unless I want to tile them, at which point you would have to do the same wiggly wop. You would be nutrients, so nutrients would say come in here, down, stop here, out, and then up. Sure. No, that needs to stay there. And I guess my spoilage belt can get through there. If I do that instead, Then the spillage on the right can go to the spillage on the left. The spillage on the left can go forward a tile, then go up and go into here. And I have a big spillage loop that just ends up over here somewhere. Okay, can I get spillage? Can I give you just a little bit of spillage? Okay, you're a stack, so you're probably a bad example. Okay, that definitely appeared at the end. Can I just have a bit of belt there so we can see it at the end? Can I grab, whoop, can I grab my spillage again? Can I shove that in there? And that end up there, cool. If I put spillage in your hand, it's going to go there as well. And if I put spillage in your hand, that's going to come out here as well. And then that finally leaves this guy, who obviously also outputs spoilage. And we have 5 inserters, so the belts are not really balanced at all. Oh, no, actually, you're on the wrong side of the belt. Can I have you go that way and then that way? You need to go straight up. Yeah, not balanced at all, but that's fine. I can live with unbalanced spoilage belts. All right, so this is going to be our plan. And this is going to produce our bioflux. Our bioflux goes out top, our spoilage comes out here. And you are egg creation. I move egg creation. I could. I do. I need you to not be there. Well, we have legendary substations for exactly this reason. We can go here instead. We still power up everything. Okay, can I copy this? Can I move you to just here for a moment? I need to put this here. Can I put this? Well, technically you don't have to be a long-handed set at all. Can I put you here? Can I get rid of that? Can I put you here and here? And temporarily, we'll just move this to here, let's say. And move you down. And now I have a bit of straight belt that comes out and dumps this in here, which will still dispose of it. And this auto restarted without a problem. Okay. Cool. All right, so that's plan 1, 2, and 3. All right, so with this being a plan, can I remove this because I don't need it anymore? Also want to cut this. This is going to be making our bioflux. And right at the moment, I'm just going to leave this part here between a bunch of beacons. I'm going to put this here so we know this is the trash belt. Therefore, this is where the trash goes. And that should do us. Actually, can I put that there? No, I put it there, and then I move this over here. So that's my tileable section. All right, on to science. So science requires, well, an awful lot of eggs, 22 per second. This guy, you got to remember, is only doing 18. So therefore, I need 2 of these guys, which is going to start really complicating things really quickly. Cool. Can I put this here? Can you go away? All right. So I need to get an awful lot of eggs in awfully quickly, and that's going to require 2 of these guys. Also, you all need nutrients. Okay. And of course, with more speed comes more power usage, requires more everything. Okay. Can I put that there so we have a somewhat centered build? Can I copy you? Can I put you here? All right, let's start with the easy one. So let's do water. Water can come in right here from I don't care where. All right. You need to have 22 eggs. 22 eggs means, can I copy this, and this, and this, and another one of these for science. You're going to be science out. Cool. Alright, science out. You're going to make 56, so 1 instead will do you. You need eggs. Eggs need to go in there. On top of that, you need eggs and you also need eggs. So, I guess I need to do this. So the eggs transfer between the 2 of them. Because obviously, well, I need to keep populating eggs into the system to keep the system running. On top of that, I would like to input eggs from our master egg belt. That way, these 2... Currently we're negative. Okay, currently we're negative, which is okay, but I can possibly add more beacons. Yep, substation's in the way again. Can I put you here? We're now still negative on eggs. Feels getting awfully tight. That's up. Oh, it took all the way to there to get positive. Okay, I don't strictly need the builder to be positive if we're going to have an external egg that feeds it. Okay, but I do need to get nutrients in and spoilage out. So let's start with... Oh, and how much? You need 250 nutrients per second, which is like a whole belt's worth. So that means I also need to have this in here as well. Nope, not this. I want the other one. This one. I want this in here, which means you're going to need bioflux to make 2.3k per second. That should be fine. Although you need 128, you need 128, which is going to be faster than what my inserter can do. Cool. Alright, so let's go through the process one at a time. You need nutrients too fast for my inserter. So I need to get you to move somewhere. I'm going to need to put nutrients here and here to go there and there. Cool. I have even less tiles now. We're going to put a belt there and a belt there. Okay. Also means I now have spoilage here and here. That was more artillery shell range. Oh, but I saw a shell going. Okay. No shells so far. Alright. Spoilage. The machine has spoilage. The machine has spoilage. You have spoilage. And you have spoilage. Cool. This is looking like a shit show. Alright. So. Oh, and you need bioflux. Add nutrients yourself. Cool. Can I put another one there? Can I shift you to be bioflux in? Yeah. And you also need nutrients in here. Okay, let's start with what's possible and what's not. Okay, let's start with... input, output. Okay, you're going to do, per minute, 3.3 thousand. So that means you're going to have 4 rocket silos for 1 build. Because you're going to produce that about every minute. Maybe more. If I can, well, if I do them in pairs, yeah. If I do them in pairs, it'll be a lot more. Okay, so let's start with, oh, and you need nutrients in as well. Oh boy. Okay, let's start with bioflux. Bioflux is going to be, this is going to be the bioflux belt. Calling it here, your bioflux. Cool, done. Alright, you need nutrients. Nutrients obviously can't come from this tile, but you don't need a lot of nutrients. So we could do a longhand inserter. Longhand inserter means I can grab nutrients here. Okay, so you're now sorted. You're going to output nutrients. So these guys, well, here. And I also need to get eggs in here. To get eggs in here is going to be a problem. Let's move the eggs to up here. If the eggs are moved to up here, and this becomes my egg feeding belt. Okay. If I'm going to feed in, can I just rotate everything? Yeah. At least then the eggs are on the correct side. Okay. Eggs are going to come in here. Spoilage. A lot of spoilage. Potentially. Okay. Can I do... Can I make you go away? Okay, I add you here, and here. So now it's just a later problem. Alright. Can I do spoilage? Okay, let's keep things simple. You're gonna go there, and this is gonna be my spoilage belt. So can I do this? Can I also start marking belts before we get too confused? And did I ever dump those in the network? I did, but I need 3 more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Cool. Can I do... So your bioflux. Yep. And you're going to be nutrients. That one. And you're going to be the wonderful spoilage. Okay. So, we've got some markers placed in. We know what's happening top. Spoilage down here is going to be a problem. I'm just going to assume it's going to go straight out the middle until told otherwise. You and you. So if I take the same attitude, we just take the spoilage and we move it over the belts here and here, then in theory, Actually, that's not too bad. We can move that spoilage up to there. Add this spoilage to it. You're on the bottom side of the belt. So if you're on the bottom side of the belt, you should be on the bottom side of the belt, which is side load in there, and take the spoilage up here. That means your spoilage is dealt with, your spoilage is dealt with, you're not dealt with, and you're not dealt with. We'll get to those problems. Actually... Okay, there's always a power pole on the way. That deals with those problems. Oh, that makes you go faster. Okay, I don't need you to go faster, but it's good to know. Okay, so let's just confirm. If I have you, and I throw spoilage in there, you output to the belt. Oop, there's definitely spoilage up there, so you worked. Right, if I put spoilage in here, that should follow the same route. Come out top. If I put spoilage in here, that should come out the top. That's obviously going to work, and that's obviously going to work, and you don't need that guy anymore. Cool. Alright, so this should be our plan. Am I missing anything? Spoilage out, nutrients in, bioflux in. You don't have food. Yes, I'm missing something. How do I get you nutrients? That's how to do it. Okay, you move to here. You move to here. Okay. Really? I need more spawners. Can I put down you, and you call me epic? Oh. It's still flashing. Okay. Can you be an epic too? Oh. I guess you can all be epics then. I think I was going to kill those guys off, but it hasn't happened. And that row's already epic. You are out of coals. That's fine. Okay. Can I... Wait, you should send you. Okay, you come out with a underground stead. You get nutrients in here. You go one side of the right. You go one side of the right. I output nutrients here, which is then taken... Nope. This is an underground vault. Okay. Can I put this over here for a second? Can I put this here? Because obviously you can output there, which will then go to there, which will then go to there. Okay. Then you go to here. Except you're going to go down. That doesn't help. No, you can't live there. Okay, you have to live somewhere else. I don't know where somewhere else is right now, but you're probably going to have to get in and out with an underground. Technically, I move a beacon, but I don't think that'll help you. You can go back to this side, because this side is where I'm already using an underground, but I'm not using an underground here, which means I can do that. Does mean I'm going to have spoilage on this belt I'll need to get rid of, which I don't have an answer for right this second. But in theory, that would work. It's a little bit of a mess. No, it's not even a mess. It's a little bit tight. Yes, I think tight's probably a more accurate term. Oh, hang on. We burned the eggs. I burn the eggs. So rather than having this, I could move you to there. I could have that go there. That'll still send the spoilage that way. You go there instead, and you pick up the eggs from there instead. And spoilage would normally go this way. If I have nutrients fail here, which they will do from time to time, but then again, you consume... I have no idea how much. You consume 3.8 per second, which is not a lot in all reality, but it's a decent amount to keep the belt moving. I don't think there's going to be that much spoilage here, which will eventually get to the end and eventually get burnt off. That's what we're doing with the excess spiders. So it also means you can now go here, and you can have a nice straight belt out. Okay. That's going to be our plan. You need a bioflux. Where's bioflux? Okay. Crap. Not the plan. Okay, get a bioflux inserter. Put bioflux here. You bring bioflux in like that. And put belt here and delete the excess stuff on the outside. I think that's all of it. Okay, whilst we're at it, can I put a light down? Could I don't have lights, that's right. I have 5 of those. Can I wire you and you together? We're going to have read contents, including crafting, yes, on both of them. And you, and we enable disable if eggs are, eggs are greater than 0. Yep. And then you're going to go use colors, and it's going to be all red. All red. Okay, can I change this to that for a minute? So, I have a red egg if red light if there are no eggs in stock. Yes. Okay. Can I get another light and can I put this? You can still technically go right there. Cool. Can I put another light here? Can I wire you into this? You are going to be if science is greater than 0. And then, I don't know, I'll work out the exact color later. Can I make another light? But I made 5. I did, but then they got trashed. Okay. So if you got science, you'll flash for however long you have science in the machine, which is probably not going to be that long. Can I turn that off? And I want to read contents, and that's what I want. Yes. Yeah, okay. And that should be our little working build. In theory. Okay, so I didn't have one line of bioflux. I didn't have a second line of bioflux. Can I do nutrients? Okay, with that done, you need per second. Oh. I have ammo. Okay. I'm guessing you didn't... No, you're not burning the eggs fast enough. Okie dokie. More egg burners with less inserters. Yep, that's the answer. More egg burners, less inserters. We might need to do wiring, because obviously this sat here for 15 minutes and then died. Can I do read fuel? Yep. Can I do enable if egg, which currently reads 15, is greater than equals 0. Yep, equals 0. If you've burnt all the eggs, then you can turn on. Can I just do copy paste? Yep. And then I should be able to take that, rotate it there, and rotate it there. Cool. Yep. We're just going to turn them on when there's no eggs in there. That seems like a safer way of doing things. Okie dokie. All right. Can I turn the legs back on? All right. So this is going to be our plan. And I have no idea what that said for nutrients. I'll just put nutrients and everything. Okay. I need to have nutrients in you guys. You guys need 300. Okay, and you make 3.2k for 161, which means I need to have 1/10 that, which means I need 16 bioflux for you, and I also need to have... Why is there nutrients on the floor there? I just dumped it everywhere. Okay, and I also need to have 25 for you. So I need to have a grand total of 30 nutrient, 40 bioflux to keep this running. And my belt outputs, well, we don't have it. Oh no, we do have a bioflux build. You do 131, which is basically half a belt's worth. Okay, so I'm gonna need several of these for every one of these. Cool. Well, I want to tile these together. So, all right, so this is the plan, and that's artillery range number 13. If I turn this back on, yeah, we have plenty of range. We just gotta wait for the cloud to get there, and the friends to be exterminated. Speaking of friends and bits and pieces, there's two of them out there somewhere. All right, so I'm over time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. We're going to come back in the next episode after the little shock from our friends, and then we're going to try and put this together in a way that makes sense and a way is scalable so I can copy and paste. And this was doing 63 science per second, and I want to have just 7 of them. 8 of them? 8 of them. Yeah, like 8 of them in a row. Yeah, all right. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. If you're interested in a scalable Gleba blueprints, well, they are always available to Patreon members, including, well, obviously, probably by the time you see this episode or the next episode, this blueprint will be up in some sort of working order, and hopefully should be able to produce a crap ton of worth of science, which means, well, the little bar of green should be a little bit higher in the future. Anyway, with all that said and done, I'm going to call this here. As always, thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the very next video. Bye.